Is it true that Jungkook and Jimin did something shocking to make HYBE panic? Discover hidden facts that have never been revealed to the public before. Don't miss out. Comment, like, and subscribe for the latest updates. Have you ever imagined a simple moment could change the entire face of the Korean entertainment industry? A moment so shocking that it plunged the world's largest management company, HYBE, into a complete panic? What exactly happened, and why did it keep BTS fans around the world silent for a few seconds longer than usual? If you think this is just a common rumor, think again. There is mounting evidence, whispers from deep sources, and signs that cannot be ignored. And most surprisingly, Jungkook and Jimin, two stars who are usually closely guarded by HYBE protocol, have just been seen doing something that was previously considered impossible at 8 o'clock in the morning Seoul time. The streets around HYBE's office were uncharacteristic. It was usually quiet, but the morning was filled with a tension that could almost be felt by anyone passing by. Eyewitnesses reported the presence of several dark, glazed black cars known as vehicles used by high-ranking company executives. But this time, the center of attention is not the executives, but two figures who have been known as the faces of BTS, Jungkook and Jimin. What are they really doing outside of HYBE's strict protocols? According to several sources willing to speak on condition of anonymity, the moment was not a mere coincidence. This is something completely different. As a rule, all their activities are controlled, curated, and obscured so as not to cause speculation, said one of the internal sources who has been working at HYBE for a long time. But this time, there was something that made the management panic. And it's not a mere rumor. There are videos, there are witnesses, and most importantly, there are consequences that could affect their image globally. This phenomenon does not occur in isolation. The virtual world immediately responded with an uproar. Within minutes, hashtags related to Jungkook and Jimin began trending, and wild speculation began to spread on social media. There are those who claim that both did something bold and very unexpected, which directly violated the company's protocol. There are also those who emphasize the human side. Is this purely a mistake or a spontaneous act born of the pressure of living under the spotlight of the world? Meanwhile, inside the HYBE building, the atmosphere is no less hot. The executive boardroom turned into a crisis center, with phones ringing incessantly and messages coming in from media, fans, to business partners. A staffer who attended the meeting described the atmosphere as a mixture of panic, bewilderment, and fear of global repercussions. Everyone is aware that what Jungkook and Jimin did could be a defining moment for not only their careers, but HYBE's reputation as a whole. However, what exactly were their actions that gave rise to this panic? Based on the footage circulating, it appears that the two are doing something that seems simple, but is full of meaning and controversy. The scene, at first glance, can be taken for granted. Two young stars sitting in a public location, interacting with someone unknown to the camera. However, for HYBE and fans who understand the context, this is a serious violation of protocol. The act that looks relaxed and spontaneous turns out to open the veil of tension that has been hidden behind BTS's success. Even more surprising was the reaction of the fans. On the one hand, there was immense joy, relief, and pride in seeing Jungkook and Jimin display their human side. On the other hand, there is fear, distrust, even anger towards a company that looks as if it has lost control. This phenomenon creates a moral and emotional dilemma that forces fans to ask, are we supposed to support their freedom or still demand uncompromising professionalism? As the news spread, rhetorical questions arose that were difficult to answer. Is this just a small moment that the media exaggerates? Or is there really something bigger going on behind the scenes that could change the landscape of the Korean entertainment industry forever? Will HYBE really be able to control this situation? Or will Jungkook and Jimin's actions open a new chapter that cannot be reversed? And then, like a surprise that comes right at the most unexpected moment, a new piece of information emerges. There are sources who claim that the actions of the two idols were not just a spontaneous moment, but part of something broader, involving difficult decisions about their image, identity, and relationship with fans. It is no longer about viral videos or mere rumors. It's about real impact on the company's strategy, global brand value, and possibly the future of BTS itself. As the days change, situations that initially look like small incidents begin to develop into something much more complex. None of the HYBE side wanted to officially admit what really happened, but the silence actually raises new questions. Is the company deliberately covering something up? Or are they really not prepared for the impact of Jungkook and Jimin's actions? On the other hand, the media began to dig deeper, looking for witnesses who could testify. One of the reporters who managed to get limited access to the scene revealed a surprising thing. There was a recorded interaction between Jungkook, Jimin, and an individual who has not been known to the public. This individual, according to some sources, has very close connections to the Korean entertainment industry, even being said to have an influence that could change an artist's career in an instant. Why did the two biggest idols suddenly get involved in this secret meeting? Is this a collaboration, a warning, or something more dangerous? Tensions boiled over when fans began sharing the speculation on social media. Some interpreted the actions of both as a form of protest against HYBE's policies, while others considered this a bold move to demonstrate personal freedom in the midst of a busy schedule and tremendous media pressure. The hashtag, which was originally trending out of curiosity, is now filled with increasingly wild conspiracy theories, from the alleged arrangement of the artist's career to possible internal conflicts within HYBE's own management. In an internal meeting that reportedly lasted until late at night, HYBE executives faced a severe dilemma. Some want to release official statements to calm the public, while others insist on keeping quiet to control the situation. This is where a controversial question arises. Do companies care more about their image than the safety and happiness of the artist himself? How could two global stars be in such a vulnerable situation? While controls as tight as HYBE have been considered the most sophisticated, suspicions were further heightened when news emerged that some of HYBE's internal documents had been lost or deliberately hidden. This information, although not independently verified, sparked a wave of new theories. Were Jungkook and Jimin's actions indeed related to something bigger, something that had been hidden from the public? Or is this a pure coincidence that tragically befell two of the most influential artists in the K-pop world? Amid all this, a surprising question arises. Is this just the beginning of a larger internal conflict in HYBE? And if true, how will this affect Jungkook and Jimin's relationship with other BTS members, global fans, and even the Korean music industry as a whole? Meanwhile, some anonymous sources stated that there were tensions that had never been seen before, even between management and artists who had been considered aligned. The most dramatic moment occurs when a video is briefly spread on social media platforms. The video shows Jungkook and Jimin doing something seemingly trivial, but loaded with symbolism that can be interpreted variously. For some, this is a bold act that shows their courage to express themselves. For others, this is a serious breach of protocol, which could lead to legal and professional consequences. The question is no longer what are they doing, but rather why are they doing it now, in the most sensitive moment. With all this speculation and tension, the mystery continues to accumulate. There were no official statements, no clarifications, only whispers and pieces of information scattered on the internet. The world is waiting with bated breath. Will HYBE respond in a dramatic way, or instead allow this situation to develop into an uncontrollable controversy? And in the midst of all this confusion, one thing becomes clear. What Jungkook and Jimin did was no ordinary act. It's a moment that could change BTS's entire narrative, shift the balance of power in the Korean entertainment industry, and raise big questions about artists' freedom, management control, and the boundaries between professionalism and humanity. However, the biggest mystery still remains. Who exactly is the individual they met? And what is the secret behind the act that made the entire HYBE panic? And even more nerve-wracking, is this just the tip of the iceberg of a series of events that have so far been hidden from the public? The answers to those questions are still waiting, and the world can't stop waiting to find out. As the night approaches, Seoul feels quieter than usual, but the tension behind the scenes of the entertainment industry actually increases many times over. Every step of Jungkook and Jimin is now carefully watched. Every movement on social media is analyzed to the smallest detail. The big question arises: are their actions really spontaneous, or are there hidden strategies that have never been revealed before? Even entertainment industry analysts are baffled. How could two artists of Jungkook and Jimin's class cause such a stir with just one seemingly simple meeting? On the other hand, HYBE is at a critical crossroads. An internal source described the atmosphere as tense, chaotic, and secretive. The boardroom became the center of a storm, where executives feuded over what steps to take. Some urge public statements to defuse speculation. Others fear that any statements will actually worsen the situation. And the question hanging in the air is, are the HYBE really capable of controlling this moment? Or are they setting themselves up for the inevitable destruction of reputation? As speculation began to flood the virtual world, the controversy intensified. Fans began to divide theories that were far from reality. Some accused HYBE of deliberately restraining the artist's freedom. Others speculated that Jungkook and Jimin were preparing a move of rebellion against the system that had been restraining them. Even some anonymous accounts claimed to know a big secret that could shake up the K-pop industry, something that, if truly revealed, would change the global perception of BTS and HYBE forever. Amid the confusion, a startling report emerges. A mysterious individual who was allegedly present when Jungkook and Jimin committed the panic-inducing act is believed to have close ties to an international entertainment network. The name of this person was deliberately hidden, but some witnesses said that his influence could determine the artist's career in a matter of days. The question that arises now is more frightening. Are Jungkook and Jimin's actions pure decisions, or are they being directed by hidden forces that have never been known to the public? The media has also become increasingly outspoken in their investigations. A short leaked video shows Jungkook and Jimin doing something that looks simple, but is full of symbolic meaning. Their gestures, the look of eyes full of messages, and the location of the meeting sparked thousands of interpretations. Is this a silent protest, or a message to those who control them? The controversy escalated when international fans began interpreting the video as an indication of HYBE's internal conflict, while the company remained silent. Increasingly, HYBE's internal conflicts began to surface. Several senior staff revealed that there had been tensions between management and artists that were rarely known to the public. Some of the decisions taken by the management turned out to be contrary to the values and desires of the artist, especially in organizing their image. The question that arises now is very surprising. Has HYBE sacrificed the freedom and well-being of artists for the sake of a global image? And are Jungkook and Jimin's actions a form of rebellion against the system? That night, social media became a battleground of opinion. Wild theories abound, from alleged conspiracies to symbolic analysis of leaked videos. In the midst of all this, one question remains. Who was the mysterious individual who appeared to be present at the time of the events? And what was his true role in the grand scheme of things? Is this just the culmination of a series of events that have gone unnoticed by the public, or is it a harbinger of the beginning of a larger crisis that will shake the entire K-pop world? Behind the scenes, HYBE appears to be trying to calm the storm. But sources inside mention that the tension between the management and the artist has never been so intense before. Phones are ringing incessantly. Incoming messages from the media and business partners are piling up, and every decision taken has the potential to aggravate the situation. The question is now very frightening. Does HYBE still have control, or is the entire system that has been considered unshakable beginning to crack? As the world waits for answers, the mystery continues to hang. Jungkook and Jimin's seemingly simple actions are now a symbol of many possibilities: freedom, rebellion, or a hidden strategy ready to change the face of the entertainment industry. And what hangs over the public's mind the most is one final, nerve-wracking question. What's really going on behind the scenes? Who's really in control? And will the world ever know the full truth? One thing is for sure, this story is not over. The world is still holding its breath. The media is still waiting for clarification. Fans are still debating their theories, and HYBE is still at the center of the storm. The mystery is not only about Jungkook and Jimin's actions, but about the systems they live in, the secrets they hide, and the repercussions that could shape